Guys, the Chicken's here, bringing you another Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to go over how to attack different styles of bases at 6 engine rooms. I just posted a stream with OP and Shishk, so this is going to be kind of a condensed version of what we learned from that. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of error, a lot of that on Chicken's end, but yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. So, 6 engines. So let's just get into some attacks. Essentially, everything that we're going to be doing is going to be using 4 bombers, 4 heavies, and bullet with the energy drink. And that makes the biggest difference. Okay, so here's how you want to do it. You want to time your drops well. He's got the blaster in the back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't think it really matters what side we go on. I think the blaster a little bit closer. So I try to go on which side is closer to the shock blaster because I want to take that out first. This guy's got everything like pretty well centered around the back, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to do that. So here's how you want to do it. You want to spread out your heavies. So you put down the first boat of heavies. You put down 1, 2, 3, 4 boats of bombers, and then you put down bullet. Now, the timing for dropping the last heavies is as soon as your first boat of heavies crosses the warning sign line. As soon as they cross that first section, then that's where you're going to put out your next boat and then your next boat. And the whole idea of doing that is just so you don't have all of your heavies. That was a little bit late, but that's fine. Absorbing all the same splash damage and just dying all at once. You have that constant kind of refresh of heavies coming in, which makes a big difference. And yeah, that's essentially the whole idea behind this. So, now we just got to put it into practice and make it work and hopefully get a nice victory here for you guys. We did finally make it back up to rank 21. We crawled out of the gutters after putting ourselves way back in there. And we've been making a little bit of progress here. I did get those ice upgrades at the end of the last stream, so that has also definitely played a big factor into this. Let's go like this, and let's go right about there with that shock. Okay, there we go. Now we got all the bombers flying in and around. Let's shock this guy again. That blaster, I cannot reach that with the shock bomb, so we got to make sure that we're taking care of that. I'm going to get Bullet another energy drink so he's nice and healthy. This guy has all of his rocket launchers in kind of a weird position, so we're not really taking any splash damage from the bombers. Okay, Bullet's looking healthy, so I'm going to actually leave them right here to clear out the shock launcher. Now we're going to start to flare. We're going to go like this and then right onto that last one. Okay, let's go on to the last one now. And we're going to help them out with a bunch of barrage, a couple artilleries, bing, bang, boom, back. And that's it. And we were able to do this because our base is holding up with the ice now. So our last couple upgrades was just building health and building damage. And that's allowed us to really kind of zone in on our attacks and just propel us forward drastically because we were struggling there pretty good until we got these upgrades. This one, I still need one more tick left in it. Building health and building damage. Massive difference. Instant wins just from those upgrades. So try to get to those as quickly as you can if you're not there already. Alright, so this base, this is a different one. The other one I would say is a little bit easier, but let's try this. So the landing is the same. It's just a little bit different because you're flaring this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bullet. And then we're going to flare all the way over here. And then one heavy's crossed that line, so we're going to go up like this. So basically what we're doing is we're dipping down. We're getting all the engines on the left. And then we're actually going to pull all the troops back up and around from the back and do it that way. I didn't really explain that well, but so essentially we're going to come down here, we're going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4 engines, and then instead of clearing and going forward, we're going to go all the way back up and around down this way. I'm actually going to flare them again. That's where it gets tricky. That last flare, I don't know if you necessarily have to do that all the time. It just depends on how well your heavy space or don't space. And we want to try to protect these bombers as well. Yeah, that's honestly, that's the hardest part of this attack, is getting the initial setup down and then just knowing where to use your GBE here. So the things you want to focus on are the things that take out heavies. The shock launcher is honestly not a big deal. As long as it's not taking down too many heavies and it's not really slowing up our attack that much. Now, of course, if there's nothing else to shock, you're going to want to prioritize the shock launcher because you do need to get this done quickly because these attacks do tend to come down to time a little bit. Not necessarily every time. And usually the base has a standalone shock blaster, so you can use critters and they work kind of okay at distracting those. So you see right here, I'm going to focus on things that are taking down my heavies. I'm going to use critters over here on the shock blaster to try to save some of these bombers. And at this point, we're actually looking okay. Okay, so now you know what I'm actually going to do here? We don't need, just because of the way this base was set up, we actually don't need to go all the way up and around. So let's do something different. We're going to just come down on this from like this angle over here. And I think that's going to put us in a pretty good position to just free clear everything. That shock hurt us a little bit. So let's go critters up in front. And it's just going to save us a little bit of time. So, I mean, you can do this sometimes too. It just depends on the base layout, right? But 90% of the time, you got to go all the way up and around like we were just talking about there. So make sure that you're doing that more often than not. Okay. And let's go like this now, I think. There we go. He's got us down to 1. Okay. And we're going to go barrage and artillery. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Okay, that was a little bit crazy. We actually lost all of our troops on that, but I think we had to do that just because the time, so we still lost. But that's the idea, is you come up and around and then go back up through the top, so try to do that if you can. Doesn't always work. Nothing always works past 6 engines, but that's essentially how you want to try to run it. So this should be a little bit easier. Let's see what we got here. So he's got the blaster on the left side, so I'm actually going to attack this from the left again. So we're going to go heavy. We're going to go bullet. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 bombers. And then we're just going to wait for their heavies to get to the top. And chicken is your uncle. So we're just going to do it just like that. 1, 2, and again, we're looking for things that are going to take out our heavies first, right? Now, a little word of advice. There's no point in putting a boom cannon inside your damage amp, because it's going to one-shot your heavies anyway, so you don't get any bonus out of that. It just looks cool. Okay, we'll go like that. Shock this again. Blaster I'm not overly concerned with, but we will put it down next. It should help us. We got a lot of heavies coming in up the gut. And let's go like this next. Hit that blaster, hit that launcher. Okay, let's go critters up over here, I think. Another shock there. Don't go crazy on the GBE. You know, use it where you need it. Don't just throw it out goofily. So now we're going to go like this. This base you can typically get a ton of value out of your shocks. Shock knuckles actually isn't a terrible idea on these bases either. Now I don't have bullet anymore, so I think we're actually going to start to go down here. I'm not sure what happened to Mr. Bullet, but that's going to hurt us for sure. Yeah, so we're probably not going to finish the space. Just depends how they end up clearing these rockets in the shock launcher. Okay, the rocket goes down there. Let's get everyone to focus on this, please. On this launcher. 2. Now we got to take down this boom cannon next. We got 4 bombers, so that's going to... We're still going to take down the base, but it's going to be slow. It's going to be very slow now. So I don't know if this guy failed on us or not, but... we'll see here shortly in just a second. I'm not sure if the mortar's going to be in range, but I think I'm just going to flare onto... I think we're just going to... Or no, we're not going to need to flare. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, and then 1. Let's see how this does for us. Yeah, it looks like we will be okay, actually. Boom! There it is, guys. So, minute and 21 seconds. Bar down. No match for chicken. Okay. He's still going, though. What did we get to? 120 something? Oh, no, he's done. Okay, so he's done, but it looks like he hasn't manually hit the retreat button, so his attack is not going to stop. But yeah, there it is, guys. That was pretty successful, I think. We lost one in the middle, right? Yeah, but we did pretty okay other than that. So yeah, that's how to attack 6 engines for the most part. We didn't cover using Seekers, but Seekers don't typically work as well for the average person than using heavies and bombers. That's typically all you're going to see anyway. So yeah, let me know what you think of that down below in the comments, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you next one. Guys, chicken out. Back.